In lesson 3.6 day 2, we added on to the point slope formula. Yesterday we talked that in the point slope formula, what you do when you write an equation is you plug in a value for your y1, you plug in a value for your m, and you plug in a value for your x1. Remembering that when you plug in your ordered pair for your point goes in as the opposite sign that it currently is. So if your ordered pair, let's just say, is 0.3, -6, your 3 would go into your x1 as a -3, because that's the opposite of a +3, and the -6 would go into the formula as a +6, because that is also the opposite. So yesterday we talked about how to plug values into the formula and then rearrange the formula by distributing the right side and then adding or subtracting the number from the left side. Today we're adding on to that, and instead of me just giving you the slope in a point, I'm actually going to be giving you 2 points. However, we know how to find the slope given 2 points, so this process is still able to be done. So when I give you 2 points and I ask you to write an equation, you have to first find the slope using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, where your ordered pairs are x1, y1 and x2, y2. After you find the slope given 2 points, then you just choose a point, either one. I usually just choose the first point there, and then from that you just plug them into the formula and rearrange. So if we look at problem number 1 on the homework, I'll leave the little notes up on top, and I'm actually going to write my work on this blank sheet of paper so that you don't have to read between the lines. I need to write an equation given, this is homework 3.6. I need to write an equation given the points -3, 1 and -2, -1. Well, step 1 tells me to find the slope. So the first thing I'm going to do is label my points: x1, y1, x2, y2. Because I need to find my slope, I need to use the slope formula. The slope formula says y2 minus y1. So I have -1 minus 1 over x2 minus x1, which is -2 minus parentheses -3. From there, we recall that we have to simplify the top. -1 minus 1 is -2. And then we got -2 minus -3 is a +1. Make sure you simplify the slope as far down as possible, which just simplifies to -2. Once you find the slope, go to step 2 and you pick a point, either one. So I'm just going to choose the point -3, 1. Okay, that's my x1 and my y1, just the way that I labeled it. Step 3 is to plug into the formula. So let's just remember my formula is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. And we have to plug values in for -y1, m, and the -x1. Okay? So I'm going to start writing my formula down. The y just gets recopied because anything not highlighted just gets dropped down. My y1 value is a +1. When it goes into the formula, it goes in as the opposite, so it'll go in as a -1. Drop down the equal sign. My m, I found up on top, is -2. The parentheses drops, the x drops, and my x1 value is -3, so it goes into the formula as a +3. From there, you want to distribute and rearrange. So let's distribute the right side. -2 times x is -2x. -2 times a +3 is -6. Nothing was done to the left side, so I'm just going to drop it down. And then lastly, you want to get rid of that number on the left side, so the opposite of -1 is adding 1. It disappears on the left, and I get y equals -2x, -6 plus 1 is a -5. Okay, and our final answer would be y equals